Hey, hey, Blue Table fans! I have before you the Studio Eldar army, which is now going up on the block on our web store. I have split off a few of the more unusual units and left in the main army the things that I have found most useful in my games. This is a 2,000 point army. It can go up or obviously down a little bit depending on how you equip your models and how you run them. So let's go ahead and start with the meat and potatoes. The army features 18 jet bikes, of which 6 have shrieker cannons. I usually split them into 3 bike units, but you can also mass them up in 6 bike units to, if you want, accommodate these Wraith Guard with D-sides as troops choices. And you do that simply by making this one Farseer model stand in as a Spirit Seer. I usually use the Yandon list to give them him the Voices of Twilight power, which allows your Wraith Guard to have battle focus, which is run and shoot or shoot and run, which is ridiculously awesome for them. Oh my gosh. All right, the army also features these 3 hero conversions. These are generic enough that they can stand in as an Autarch, as a Farseer, or what I originally designed them for was a Warlock, 3 Warlocks. But I have had a real blast running them as Farseers. Absolutely no problem with that option. So I do have a video that separately that talks a little bit about the conversion and making of those models. All right, the army also features 3 of these fire prism chassis, which is what I use for my wave serpents. They are magnetized, so they store and turn quite nicely. They have 2 magnetized points in the turret, each of them does. And let me tell you what you can kit these guys out with. You can make them, there are 3 pairs of missile launchers, 3 pairs of scatter lasers. You can switch out the underslung weapon to shuriken cannons. I have 2 bright lances, and also 2 of them can be made into night spinners. Lastly, there is 1 option for a fire prism. So this army has amazing, absolutely huge amounts of flexibility in how you field it. And also, just for dessert, you have a Crimson Hunter. The base on this has been modified slightly so that it sits even, and I've never had a problem with it really coming off the base during games. But the base does come off, and that makes it all the better for storage. Lastly, we have this Wraith Night. The Wraith Night has a ton of options magnetized onto it, notably both arms, the Wraith cannons, and then up top you can have, I have 2 star cannons, 2 scatter lasers, and a shuriken cannon, and those all fit on these base pieces, which have a magnetized front point, so you can just put this as a decoration if you want, or you can actually put a weapon on it. Now, as an added bonus, you can take these star cannons here and you can put them onto one of the wave serpents, and those fit on quite nicely. So again, this army is 2,000 points. It is for sale on our web store. And lastly, let me just tell you a little bit about the color scheme. The color scheme is Vallejo Foul Green, with Design Master Teal as the base coat, highlighted with Vallejo Turquoise, Scurf Green, White, and I think those are pretty much the colors that are involved there. So it's pretty easy to duplicate, and I was inspired by Craft World Mymeara, which is the 11th of the Forge World books. You'll notice I've integrated a little bit of purple, which makes a really good accent color for these models. Oh, also on the Wraith Night, the helmet has been modified so that it's flat. It doesn't look like a motorcycle helmet. It more harkens to a regular Wraith Lord. So So there it is. Check it out on the web store, and one lucky person is going to be able to make this their own army and hopefully have as much fun with it as I did.